Have you heard of the carnivore diet? It's been relatively unknown until recent years, but now, thanks to people like Jordan and Mikala Peterson, it's become very popular and hundreds of thousands of people have completely transformed their bodies, lives and minds thanks to this amazing diet. My entire life, I've always struggled with weight gain and high levels of anxiety. When I was 10 years old and 5'4", I weighed a massive 60 kilos. For over a decade, in every school I went to, I was always known as the chubby kid. Yeah, I had a bit of a sweet tooth, but really, I didn't overeat. I would maybe have a sweet snack once or twice a week, and apart from that, all I ate was the meals I got at school and the ones my mother cooked for me. I exercised more than most people did. I remember at 12 years old, I downloaded a home workout app on my phone because I was simply fed up of being overweight, and I would do lengthy home workouts that left me drenched in sweat. Yet, I hardly noticed a change in my body. At 14, I joined the gym and started boxing, but still, the only changes I noticed was that I got a little bit fitter and gained a little muscle. I barely lost any fat at all. I began to feel like I had been cursed with bad genetics. I thought my metabolism was hopelessly slow and that it was impossible for me to ever get lean. This all changed though when I discovered the carnivore diet. There are hundreds of thousands of testimonies from people who have gone on the carnivore diet and claim it's fixed all sorts of problems. For me personally, I suffered with extreme anxiety and an inability to lose fat. Once I got on the diet though, the anxiety practically disappeared and I started noticeably losing body fat every single week. First of all, before I get into this video, make sure you talk to your doctor before trying this diet. So in this guide, I'm going to cover 4 things. What is the carnivore diet? What do I eat on the diet? What you can expect in the first few weeks of the diet? And the benefits of a carnivore diet. So we'll start with what is the carnivore diet? So the carnivore diet involves eliminating all plant foods from your diet and exclusively eating meat, fish, eggs, and small amounts of low lactose dairy products. Now, you might be thinking, hold on a second, what about fruit and vegetables? Don't they contain vital nutrition? The answer is no. You can get all of the nutrients your body requires on this diet just from eating organ meats and supplementing electrolytes. So, what do I eat on the diet? The carnivore diet is a high-fat diet. You switch from using carbohydrates for energy to fat for energy. So you'll want to eat a lot of fat and fatty meat cuts. For breakfast, I have 5 eggs scrambled with extra butter and butter-fried beef fat slices that I buy from the butcher. This gives me all the energy I need to start the day. For lunch, I usually eat a steak or 2, sometimes even 3. Or if I'm eating organ meats that day, I'll have those along with some chicken broth. And dinner will usually be the same as lunch. If I eat organ meat for lunch, I'll have steak or some other red meat for dinner. I also take unflavored electrolyte supplements throughout the day because when you go into ketosis on a carnivore diet, your body needs extra electrolytes as a lot of excess fluid is lost on the diet. So, what can you expect in the first few weeks of the diet? Well, in the first 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to lose a lot of weight. Some of that will be fat, but a lot of it will be excess water because, as I mentioned earlier, when you go into ketosis on a carnivore diet, a lot of excess fluid is lost as you're no longer eating carbohydrates, and carbohydrates cause your body to store a lot of water. Many people, myself included, also experience diarrhea in the first few weeks of starting carnivore. It's nothing to worry about though, unless it persists for weeks with no sign of stopping, because that's just your gut ejecting all the toxins that are built up over the years. It should subside within a week or 2. You may struggle with energy for the first few days and develop something called keto flu. This is because carbohydrates are actually very addictive, and so if you've had a particularly high-carb diet before trying carnivore, you're going to feel some withdrawal symptoms. In fact, if you've had an absolutely awful diet before wanting to go onto carnivore, I recommend you wean yourself slowly onto the diet because it really will be a shock for your system if you've gone from eating junk food and burgers every day to eating just animal products. To mitigate keto flu, you should aim to eat lots of fat, as that will help with the symptoms. So let's talk about some of the benefits of the carnivore diet. For me, withdrawal symptoms didn't last that long, and on day 4 I started to feel way more energetic than I've ever done in my whole life. My mind was clearer and my concentration levels improved dramatically. Before carnivore, I was on a very restrictive diet in an attempt to finally get lean, but all it was doing was causing me to lose the strength I had spent years building in the gym with very little fat loss. With just 1 month of carnivore, I went from this to this. I started gaining strength in the gym again, and in general, I felt amazing. My anxiety was reduced significantly, food cravings began to disappear, and honestly, I just felt better. So if you want to try carnivore, again, I recommend you talk to your doctor first and do thorough research beforehand. But from my experience and the personal accounts of hundreds of thousands of people, I can highly recommend it. If you do it for 30 days, I can almost guarantee you won't want to stop at the end.